Hey y'all, hey y'all. I don't know if my brows look, but they look a little weird because I drew them on. But I needed some brows on my face. I haven't felt like myself for the last week. And this is moving vlog part 2. So far, I have gotten everything in the house. I have gotten everything in the house. I have got everything that I felt I can function. I can function. So everything that I need to function is clean. But I did on, and it was my fault. Like I moved so quickly, so urgently because I was going back and forth with myself. Um, that I basically is halfway clean, halfway done. Even though they supposed to clean before you get in here. If y'all seen this house, the pictures of this house before they renovated, the pictures of this house before, and I don't know who was living here, but if y'all seen the pictures of this house, this is a blessing. And I just pray that everything is like working and functioning properly and all of that. But yeah, so I am basically cleaning up right now. I wanted to be able to access my work clothes and stuff like that. So I'm cleaning out my closet. So I wiped down everything. Um, I wiped down everything in there. Um, I already wiped down the kitchen counter. I haven't wiped down the cabinets because I don't know. It's something like I use my cabinets in the other house, but I put like the things down in it because I didn't trust it. I still don't trust these cabinets. I'm for sure not gonna use the pantry for anything probably other than water. Right now, my water is sitting on the outside. So I do need to wipe those cabinets down. So my water is sitting on the outside, and honestly, that's fine. Honestly, I'm not gonna put it in the bottom of the cabinet. I'm gonna put it on like the first shelf. Just because right now, I don't really trust the bottom cabinets. Like I said, this house is a little bit old, a little bit renovated, so I don't trust the bottom cabinets. Well, the bottom floor part right now. So I'm gonna clean up the first shelf and stuff like that. I'm gonna probably clean up all of that. And yeah, but right now I need to cook. I'm also trying to look at I want to go to the store just because I need like household products. I already got like laundry detergent and stuff like that. I need like tissue, sponges, dishcloths and stuff like that. And I feel like I look a mess, y'all. So ignore me. Ignore me. Like I don't have my nails on. I had to put brows on because I'm like, Lord, I haven't had brows on since probably my last video, honestly, because I have no clue where my stuff is right now. Do still have some boxes. I want to make a eat-in. I want to make a eat-in dining room. I think I want to make an Indian dining room, but right now my dining room table is in the living room because I don't have living room furniture. So my dining room table is in the living room and my desk, which got broken. I don't know what's with tables and movers, but something always get broken. But yeah, so my dining room table ended up getting broken with the other movers that moved me to the house that I just moved from. And then I knew God told me like God told me, I was gonna say something told me. God told me like, hey, break down that desk. Cause what my desk does, you move the legs apart and it folds down. And then so you move the legs apart, you pull the top part up, you move the legs, like close it up, and it folds down, and it's like, it folds down to like like you can store it like under a bed or something like that. But they completely pulled it up. So I'm gonna have to get some glue. I got some glue somewhere that I haven't used. I don't know if it's gonna be good enough for that desk, but I just put it back on there and I was like, whatever. Um, but I got some things I want to do. So I don't know if I want to put the desk um I don't know if I want to put the desk in by the Wi-Fi box, or do I want to put it by that window? Because if I want to film there and stuff like that, like I did in my old house, if I want to film there and have like a little setup and stuff like that. Because at first I wasn't gonna bring my ring light, but I actually brought my broken ring light, and I'm like, I still can use this in some type of way. Um, I can, use that to be able to, you know, do a little setup. But I don't know yet. I don't know. I don't know if I want it by the window. I don't know if I want anything by the window other than a couch at this point. Um, and I feel like my desk will be by the Wi-Fi router, the internet box, because I don't have a long enough cord. I threw away my long cord. I know, crazy, but yes, I wasn't using it. I threw away my long cord for my internet box. I still got the small one. Threw away the long one. Y'all talk about me later. But yeah, so I am what else I need to do? I need to clean. I don't have dish towels. I think I threw away all my dish towels. I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I threw all of them away. They're just in a box. They're just in a box. But I know I threw some away, and I was just like, I'll buy new ones. So I do need to clean up my sink. I'm about to get some coming and clean that up. So the goals for today: cook something. Um, cook something. I need to cook something. I need to clean out my sink, see if it whatever comes up. I need to find my steel wool so I can see whatever that's in that comes up. And I need to basically kind of figure out my arrangement of how I want the living room to look, because I will be, instead of cooking on my stove, because y'all, I went through so much turmoil trying to clean out my stove at the old house. Like, from that chicken pot pot overflowing in the stove, I'm finna do a hack for that, which is just put aluminum foil on the rack. So I'm gonna use the stove. I'm gonna use the oven. I'm not using the stove top, because trying to clean off like just the black of those like things, because like they had it all silver and stuff like that, trying to clean off of that, and the house after you leave supposed to be look like it's lived in, and then they supposed to call in a cleaner to professionally clean it to a standard of, okay, someone can move in. That doesn't always happen. But I guess certain houses and stuff like that need special attention, so they do the best they can. So um yeah, so all my floors are clean except for the living room floor. um I didn't spray. I know they sprayed before I probably came in, but I was like, seeing a few spiders. Don't want to fool with spiders, so I'm spraying for spiders. I guess that's a normal thing though, because most people be like, "Oh, spider here, spider there," and I'm like, I'm not dealing with it. Um, so if I do see like more and stuff like that, I'm for sure going to um I'm for sure going to call them and be like, hey, like y'all need to come spray for spiders. Because that's the joys of renting. You can just call somebody and be like, hey, spiders. But I do stay like on the countryside, but when I was in my other house, I didn't deal with a lot of spiders. You deal with like mosquitoes and all of this other stuff. I cannot cut my light on because I am on countryside. Like the first day, and this is so crazy because the first day, like I was waiting, to go to work. So Thursday, and so the first day uh that I got here and stuff like that, like I seen Bambi in Mama, the Mama and Bambi and her two little babies, and I was like, yeah, like this is different. This is something else. So I truly, truly was like, okay, yeah, like I'm back towards like the countryside. But yeah, I can't cut the light on because like of course you're gonna get like bugs attracted to the light and stuff like that. So I can't cut my porch light on to where it's just like there's light and stuff like that. But yeah, y'all, like I'm enjoying it. Like, so we got to do those things. We have to cook something tonight. We have to clean out my sink because I do want to wash out the dish that, because it's been in a box. I want to wash out the dish that I'm going to use to cook. And I'm going to show y'all what I'm cooking on and everything. So I'm going to show y'all what I'm cooking on instead of using the stovetop. And also I'm going to show y'all basically that's it. Once I clean out the sink and everything, I'm gonna move some boxes around and stuff like that, break some boxes down. And because I only have like I would say maybe 5 or 6. I don't want to take my what I don't want to take my computer out, but I think I'm gonna take my computer out the box, and I'm going to end up just um going ahead and break that box down, put the miscellaneous stuff in a smaller box, and that'll be that. But yeah, so this is gonna be like, cause I'm working, also trying to clean a house. I wish I would have, and that's why I asked them for the keys earlier. So like everything could have been wiped down, everything could have been clean. But this is not a deep clean that I'm doing. This is just a move-in clean. So I basically already mopped my floors and stuff like that. Every floor has been mopped. I'm spraying everywhere just because I don't want spiders, bugs, all this other stuff. Most people will bum their house. I don't want to bum. I just want to spray. And that spray is strong. That spray is strong. And this, like the mosquitoes and stuff that I had seen before coming in, like I'm not seeing them come in now. So after I sprayed and stuff like that, I'm not seeing as many mosquitoes as that and stuff like that. So hopefully I don't see any more spiders. And I think that's most people be like, oh well, you just move in, you're gonna get a couple spiders and stuff like that because ain't nobody lived in it. I'm not sure who was the last person that lived in it. I think they probably was just like remodeling, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, so that's our what's on our agenda. 14 minutes, not bad. That's what's on our agenda today. I'm gonna take y'all into the kitchen. I'm gonna open my pots and pans because I need a pot to cook what I'm cooking, and then we're gonna probably cook, and then I'm not gonna wash all the dishes because I don't have nowhere to put it. So tomorrow I'm probably going to the store and find me a dish rack and stuff like that. I didn't want a dish rack because I think they're ugly and stuff like that. And it's just like, it's like, Sylvia, are you looking for like this aesthetically pleasing house or stuff? Or are you looking for this house to where it's just like home? Like this house that is like, it's mine. And you have to think about that. Because at first, I used to just put my dishes on the counter and stuff like that. I don't know if I want to do that this time. I think I want to, get them off, like lift it up. I want to lift anything up. Like if I can lift it up, I want to lift anything up off the floors. And even with like me thinking about what I want as for a couch and stuff like that, I want it to be lifted up. So a boneless couch is not in my in my I wish I could, like, I don't know if I want to get a boneless couch or not, but I don't feel like it's in my arsenal to get a boneless couch, even though it's easier to, like, it's vacuum sealed, it's gonna be in a box. I can drag the box in, easy peasy, throw the box away. I have a couch. But I don't think I want to do that. And it depends on how I get to, moving stuff around. But I think I'm gonna have like a dining room kitchen area because I'm not trying to do a big sectional no more. Like, um, I'm probably, I don't know where I'm gonna spend my money. I need to get me a tablecloth for my table because, like I told y'all, every time I move, it's always a table or a desk or something. It's always a table getting broken. So the first time it was my table, second time it was the desk. So and the I didn't have the desk. Did I have the desk? The desk didn't get broke, but I bent it. I moved it. I bent it. I folded it down for the other movers and stuff like that, so they didn't break it. So that was my fault. It was on me, and I just laughed about it because I'm like, you broke it. But yeah. So honestly, It wasn't even an hour that um it took them to get me from one place to the other. But yeah, so I'm gonna pause right here because I'm still trying to get my store. I'm just going to like the dollar store to get like paper towels. I need paper towels, I need tissue, I need dishcloths. I brought all my towels. Like I didn't throw away all my towels. I honestly didn't throw away my dishcloths, but it's I didn't throw away my dishcloths, but it's my dishcloths are um in a box. So I think it's in the box with my pots and pans. So once I take y'all into the kitchen, y'all will know. And I'm sorry I came so late, y'all. But I that's what I've been doing. I've been spraying everything down, wiping down like my I want to get like at least um maybe one of those Dollar Tree little bins. The air about to come on. The Dollar Tree bins for like my work clothes and stuff like that. I do need to take my shoes out of this garbage bag, and put them in the floor of the closet. I have two closets in my room. I want to turn one of them into a prayer closet, but I don't know, y'all. I might just do it like a little prayer area or something like that instead of doing a prayer closet. And I'm gonna turn the other closet into like storage. I do have a lot of storage spaces, but like I told y'all, I'm not really trusting these. Most people would do contact paper and stuff like that. I'm not trusting like for my, and honestly, why wouldn't I trust? Because we don't even know, like, all our products that we got, like water, canned foods, all of these have been through a factory. We don't know what's at the factory, and then it gets to the store. We don't know what's going on at the store. Then it gets to us, and also you got to think about it's been on a freaking container for I don't know how many years. So we don't know where that's coming from too. So when you clean your house and stuff like that, it's like you want to be cleanly and stuff like that. And I'm just a little bit like overly clean, and I'm like, I don't really trust them cabinets. But then it's just like, do I trust the containers that they've been on? Do I trust the factory, that it's been in? So you have to think about that too. So I may put like I do have some canned foods, a little bit of canned foods that I had, but I had them in like my cabinet. So I don't know. Like even with my pots and pans, I have more pots and pans than I have dishes, and it's just like, do I want to put my pots in? Because even with my pots and pans, I don't think they were sitting on anything, but I would always take them out the cabinet and I would clean them and like wash them out and stuff like that. I don't know. People say that's a black thing, but it's been in a cabinet. It's been sitting in the cabinet. So it's just like, you take it out, you wash it, even though it's extra washing, you wash it out and stuff like that. And I know all those pots and pans that I have is not going to be able to just sit on the counter. I don't want to see my pots and pans. So most of the time when my pots and pans and my skillets and stuff, um, they just sat in the cabinet. But I threw a lot of stuff away. I did throw a lot of stuff away because I wasn't using a lot of my pots and pans and stuff like that. So yeah, but we do have to cook today, and it's 5:53. But I'm trying to get my stuff together to see like little coupons that I can clip um, for what I'm trying to do. So I'm gonna come back and we're gonna be cleaning out the sink. Yeah, we're gonna be cleaning out the sink and stuff like that. Cause I got magic erasers. I found magic erasers and it's stuff like that. I found in magic erasers and it's just like, oh, I haven't used this. And I also have like those little scrubbing sponges that already have like the dish detergent in it. So maybe I can use that to see if I can get some. It's like something just caked on. In this house, I have a garbage disposal again, which is crazy because I haven't had a garbage disposal in about 3 years. So this house I have a garbage disposal. So I'll take y'all into the kitchen and stuff like that, and I'll show y'all like just me cleaning out the sink and stuff like that, and praying that it comes clean. So I'm probably gonna use a little bit of Comet and also like that little scouring, how you say, scouring pad, scrubbing pad, and see if it comes clean. So I'll be back, y'all. Give me a second, cause I'm trying to figure out before I go into the store, I'm trying to figure out like what I need in my head. So yeah, and I also need like smell good stuff. Right now, I've been having my wax warmer on and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to in my head figure out like what I need, and then part three is gonna be me taking y'all into the store with me to get what I need and stuff like that. So yeah, welcome to my half clean house. Welcome to me getting it together. I started doing something that I used to do at my old house, which was like have a lot of stuff on my bed. And I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and clean this closet out and clean this different things out. So I am able to not do that. Like not because like I have too much storage space to be keeping like just like perfume bottles here, like headphones here, da 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 da. Like it has a space. And then so I'm starting to take stuff out my box and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, this is for my perfumes, this is for this is for this. So I'm not having it on my bed and stuff like that. And I may just bring instead of having a whole bunch of chaos in my bathroom, because I kind of love my bathroom. Instead of having a lot of chaos going on in my bathroom, I'm going to bring my Lazy Susan little perfume thing, and I'm gonna put my perfumes on it. Um, in here, I don't know if I'm gonna put it under like my little TV stand that I done made, like my little shelf, or I'm going to put it on in the closet. I may either one is gonna work perfectly because then once come out the shower, I'm able to just spin it around, get what perfume I want, get what deodorant I want, and all of that, and have it like together. So let me figure out my list for this store, and then I'll meet y'all back in the I'll meet y'all back in the kitchen. This is what the sink is looking like. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I'm gonna put y'all on the tripod. So my boxes right now can be put up because it's going in, like my cleaning stuff is going under the cabinet. So most of these boxes I can get done today. I think I got miscellaneous stuff in that other thing. So yeah, I really just need to figure out like the dishes thing. So let me get my comment wherever I done put my comment. Functioning like I haven't really been here at all. Like I was here for a little bit for a couple hours, and the only thing I did was shower and sleep. So it's just like how are you not doing this? Because I work most of the night, and when I do wake up, it's just like I'm trying to empty boxes as much as I can. So we just throwing coming everywhere. I wish I had a sprayer so I could spray that. Let me see if I got some dish rags in here. I got a dish rag in here, y'all. Yeah. So I can wash dishes, and I got some sponges if I want to wash dishes with that. But we're going to pull out the gloves and the Mr. Clean, the magic eraser, and we're going to get to work on that. And I'm about to if I got another one, I might have to use this sponge. Oh, I forgot I wanted to use this. This is what I was talking about, y'all. It's the steel wool ones. It's still steel wool, but it has the soap in it. And I got a lot of these. It was just under my cabinet at the old house. So we're going to put some gloves on, and we're going to clean it up. But I was just watching a video. Let me put y'all on tripod. Let me actually raise y'all up and then put y'all on tripod. Give me a second. My tripod is broken, for real. It's broken. All right, that's a little more. But I just watched a video. Let me close this door. That thing is off the hinges. I think they was trying to get their washer and dryer out, and it ended up being a situation to where they popped it off the hinges. Like, it's kind of closed. Honestly, I'd rather it stay like that than for them to put it back together and stuff like that, and it ends up like I might put my dishes in there, y'all. I got some construction paper, not construction paper, but like contact paper that I can line the shelf with. But like I said, I'm for sure going to, like, if I take my pots out, I'm for sure gonna line it up, and then put those in there, and then make sure like it's cleaned out and everything. But let me get to scraping this off. But I was telling y'all about like, and you have to be careful what you listen to, especially like right now. There's this thing of it not being biblical about being kingdom spouses and stuff like that, or kingdom spouse is not in the Bible, but God for sure arranged marriages for sure. Just like Abraham was like, my son will not date anyone from this city that I'm in, go back to my city and get him a wife, blah blah blah. Let's see if this comes out. God for sure, cause like that servant, he didn't know who to pick. And then Rebecca just was like, hey, like, you need a drink, like you need this, you need that. I don't think it's gonna come out, y'all. So 9 times I'ma clean it and stuff like that, and if it doesn't come out, it just doesn't come out. But I know it's clean. But I may end up doing like my grandma, and she used to like have like a big giant plastic bowl, and that's where she used to wash her dishes. Uh, uh, she'll put it over in the sink, and she'll make her dishwater. Like I said, you know, I'm OCD to a point. I won't say I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. I'm not OCD. Uh, I'm cleanly to a point to where it's just like, you know, I won't put certain things, especially like dishes and stuff like that. I need to wash all my forks and spoons. That's why how I'm gonna eat. Well, what I'm cooking requires, you know what, I may not eat today. Cause I'm like, how I'm gonna eat? Cause what I'm cooking requires a fork or a spoon. And I mean, I could wash a fork or a spoon. It's just sitting here washing a big old pot, and I don't trust the sink. Well, I trust the sink because I'm cleaning it and stuff like that. But yeah, so I just watched the message saying that this man is ashamed of you. Like, people's opinions matter to this person. And it's just like, bruh, like, me, I never date. It's so funny because I never date to get the approval of my family and stuff like that. And it's so funny because I was just telling y'all at the end of the video how the light skinned dude it looks better though, y'all. I'm cleaning this thing. It looks better. The light skinned dude, uh, and that's what I used to call him. I used to call him Little Like. I gave him a nickname. Like, we was close enough to where it was just like distant, but I would give him nicknames. So yeah, but I used to call him light skin. So it's so funny because my mom was like, she saw the dude that I was talking to. She had came down in 2024 because they hadn't seen me in almost 2 years after my accident and stuff. And she came down in 2024 talking about some, who you talking to and stuff like that. And I really didn't want to show this dude because like that was the alcoholic. So I didn't really want to show this dude because I knew like it's just something off about him. Like something is off about him that I knew this man wasn't my husband because for one, he didn't want a family. For two, like he didn't want to put a ring on it. So it's just like, and he was like, you're living in a fairy tale lifestyle thinking like, oh, someone's gonna marry you, someone's gonna do this, and you know, not do that. And it's just like, have you seen, like, the only thing that was keeping me afloat, when it came to trying to stay on God's side and stuff like that. And the only thing that was really keeping me afloat and, you know, believing that these men who want marriage, who want kids, are out there. And I put that down and not put water down in the bottom of the sink. I'm gonna have to go get paper towels, y'all. I need paper towels and everything. And what's crazy is I ordered from Walmart like the first day, but most of the time I'm not using paper towels a lot. But it's more sanitary to use a paper towel in this case. So everything has its own like little thing to where it's like, so yeah, I might get me a container and stuff like that to wash dishes. Let me see. I'm trying to make sure water's not going down the back of it. Alright, let me throw this away, y'all, and clean this up. I'll be back. And I'm finna sit down and finish talking to y'all about what's going on. Alright, y'all. I'm back. So it's still echoey. And I got all this stuff in here. It's crazy. I don't feel like this room is super huge to, have an echo, but what do I know? I'm washing clothes. I didn't close it. The air is coming on, but let me finish what I was talking about. So I finished cleaning my sink and stuff like that. Yeah, so right now I'm just trying to get boxes up out of my living room. Even though I ain't got no living room furniture, so the boxes could be decor right now. But so what I was saying is that, I was watching a video that said he is embarrassed by you, and my ear is up high. I just paid $100 and some light and water bill, so yeah, from the old house. And look, what we don't want to do is have a high bill. Honestly, I need to put on my list to look for some stick up lights, some lights to wear, because my hall is super dark and I need a light up in there. Honestly, they got a light over there that could be on, but yeah, I have to pay attention. I already told y'all my next goal, but I was telling y'all, it was funny because my mom asked about like the person I was talking to in 2024, and she was like, "Who you talking to now?" Da 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 da, just being nosy. And it was a person that I didn't really want her to know about, because my family have a hard time of letting go of people, and they want to pry, like once they know something, they want to pry into. You can't just tell them like, "No, we broke up, this and this happened," or whatever, like we broke up. They don't want to let that go. They're like, "Well, what happened to this person?" They still to this day will be like, I shouldn't wipe my face. They still to this day will be like, what's going on with that person, what's going on with this? And it's just like, you have to let that go. Like, you have to let that go. And that's the reason why right now I haven't really told them about my husband, because it's just like, at this point, what if my husband doesn't choose? And that was basically the video. What if my husband doesn't choose me? What if my husband decides to reject me? And what if my husband keeps being, in a way to where it's just like, I'ma still drag my feet, I'ma still do this, I'ma still do this. And guess what? God is still going to bless me to do what I need to do. Not create an Ishmael, but to do what I need to do and to be who he needs me to be and what he called me to be. And, depending on how you react and how you do, it's going to be like it's going to be a situation to where it's just like, you're sitting back, and I told y'all on the end of the last video, like he's sitting back watching God bless me, because and him not being in have no parts of it. And I was sad about that. Like I didn't want to move. I didn't want to move. I didn't want to you know um go too far or anything like that, because I knew that like he knew where I was, but at the same time it's just like it was time for change, it was time for something new, it was time for movement. And it was like, Lord, am I going to go? And I need to tell y'all about that. Am I going to go by myself, or is he coming with me? And I always thought, like, since God revealed him to me in 2025, the beginning of 2025, that he would come with me. And I'm like, okay, Lord, well, it makes sense that you got me doing this, you got me doing that. But God was like, man, like, I'm trying to get you out of that independent trade and stuff like that. He was like, but you completely dependent on me. Like, he was like, I'm going to bless you in front of people, and it's so funny because I asked God, because honestly I wanted a little studio apartment. Like I wanted to get rid of everything, like all these, like I got like at least 10 boxes, and honestly all of these boxes wouldn't fit in a studio apartment. And I was honestly wanting a little nice little studio to where I can just have like one room and stuff like that, kitchen, small kitchen, because I don't like I told y'all, I got more pots and pans. Even though I didn't really use a lot of my pots and pans, I got more pots and pans and stuff than I did dishes. Like I would use a bowl, and a saucer, and sometimes I'll use a plate. That's it. Like I'll use a plate like every now and then it just get washed and I use it over again. So like I never had or needed a lot of stuff. And and that's the whole point. And I think my headset's still on, but that's the whole point of just being like, I didn't need a lot of stuff. Like I want to decrease everything. Everything. If I would have found a house to where it was like this price and everything was included, and it was like just one bedroom or a studio and all of that, like y'all, like my bills would have been so like decreased. But I also was thinking about commute, because I'm like, Lord, this is further away from different things, where I'm at and stuff like that, where I'm working. I'm like, I don't, that's like another 50 $60 every month. It's like another 50 $60. But yeah, like y'all, it was sad for me to come here, because I thought like my next move would have been at least speaking to my husband, at least him coming towards me. And the message was, I'm gonna let that do what it do first. I know y'all still can hear me, but the message was like, it was for it was saying that this is sad, this person needs like validation from family members and friends, and they care about what their friends say and what their family say about someone, because their opinion matter. And it's so funny because even when like I told my mom, because my mom never knew who light skinned it was. I was closer to the little light skinned dude than I was to the one that, because even the one that came towards me and actually became my boyfriend in 2024, I was like, he ain't, I'm like, something ain't right, he ain't it. So I found out real quick, about like how to discern who is for you and who isn't for you when it comes to dating and when it comes to relationships, because they would legit tell you. And that's why I said everyone would confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, but they would confess with their tongues, like good or evil. Like they would tell you with their mouth, like whatever comes out of their mouth, they'll tell you. Especially, and you can't ignore, like after um the one I showed my mom and stuff like that, I ain't even introduced him to the family, thank God. But um my mom was crazy because she was like, he too light skinned for me. And I'm like, you ain't seen the one I was talking to before that had me in a chokehold for like 3 or 4 years that I was standing. I thought I was standing for, and I thought that would have been my husband. Like, you ain't seen him. You ain't seen him. Cause he was super, super light skinned. And I don't date, I don't think, I won't say that. But I never really was attracted to, I really say, but at the same time, me looking for my husband, someone who comes to me and be like, oh, well, I'm interested in you, I'm not going to deny them, because that's just like, I'm not going to deny them because, it's like, hey, like, you could potentially be my husband, and God give me the yay or nay. I learned to listen and before I get into relationships with these dudes, because you ain't finna be rushing me into something. I'm getting that yay or nay from God all day, every day. But yeah, so he, I was talking about light skinned dude, and I was talking about like how he was like, oh yeah, like write the book, da 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 da, and it was just like, man, how you know that God is telling me to write the book? How you know that God is like it? And it is so funny, because if you know that, and it could have been in spirit, this one of the spirits on him, but if you know that God is if God is telling me, and it probably was just like, if you know that God is telling me to do something, why didn't you cultivate it? You know what I'm saying? A man's supposed to cultivate, like, you supposed to put the grass seeds down, water the lawn, and all of this stuff. So why didn't you go ahead and basically cultivate the land? Like, support, like, he supported everything else, and you saw me supporting you, but I couldn't get that back in return. So that's some crazy stuff. But yeah, y'all, so so she didn't see him. He was way, way light skinned. She was like, I don't really like light skinned men. And I'm like, well, maybe it done ran down into the trend, because I was so chocolate, like, y'all, I was so chocolate and stuff like that. But now I look like her, like I got her color. And that's the craziest thing, I got her color. And it's so funny, because I used to look like my chocolate daddy. And honestly, I love me a good chocolate man. But at the same time, I'm not going to box God into who he's going to bring into my life. But the message, let's get back to the message. The message was about, like, this man is ashamed of you because he values other people's opinions. He values other people's, say so. He values other people's, words of mouth and stuff like that. Like, he values that. And me, if a man sitting there valuing, like, if a man is sitting there valuing something to where it's just like, we suppose, like, God is calling us to be together and stuff like that, but this person is telling him this and this person is telling him that, and this person is being like, oh, she ain't cute, or she's ugly, or she's this or she's that. And it's just like, those type of men, it's just like, let me put this mirror in front of you. And that's the sad part about it, because God will be like, oh, well, you think you all that, you think you this, you think you that. Let me put this mirror in front of your face and show you that, you're not who, like, you're not who this, you're not who you think. You're trying to be big and bad, and you're not all this. God will put that mirror in front of you, and it's just like, those type of people, it's like, let me put this mirror in front of you. Let me put this mirror in front of you. Because why are you on your high horse thinking like you better than somebody else? And that's why I didn't like light skin's lifestyle. I didn't like his lifestyle. The influencer, the, social media, I didn't like his lifestyle. I would have dealt with it, but me, in the back of my head, I was like, Lord, I was like, I wouldn't be able to, because he loves the attention for women. I wouldn't have been able to, and he loved the attention of women, and he loved the validation that he got to, and I don't know what's wrong with men, and it's just like, you're married. Why would you need the validation from somebody else? It's like, why would you need the validation from somebody else? It's crazy. And then it's so funny because I'm like, Lord, like, I had to pray about my husband. I had to pray, and I had to pray, and I had to pray. And I'm like, because I had things that I was going through in my life. And I'm like, the part of him being who he is and stuff like that. And I'm like, is this man going to accept everything that I got going on? Or is he going to listen to his friends and listen to his family being like, oh, well, she's not the one, she's not this, she's not that. And guess what? I'm not going to force anything. I'm not trying to persuade. I'm not trying to, why am I tearing up? I'm not trying to do anything to where it's just like, trying to get this man to see who in front of him. And it's so funny because even though, I can say the one before my husband, I can't, like, he had me messed up. He had me messed up for sure. But the one that came before my husband had some issues to where it's just like, I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with it at all. But he had some issues to where it was just like, you can tell, like, it was, and it's so funny because before, I want to say, what day was that, Lord? Where my phone go? I gotta get y'all dates as always. I want to say Friday or Saturday. No, it was Sunday of last week. I had an old coworker come in, and we was cool. We was super cool. And he it's so funny, y'all, how the devil works. It's so funny how the devil works, because he's tricky, he's sneaky. But yeah, like, I had when I say I'm trying to wait till this washer stop, and then I'll wait for it to put that in the dryer. But yeah, y'all. So when I say the devil is tricky, the devil is tricky. But the one that came before my husband, he gave everything that was needed except for the relationship with God. And it's just like you're going trash, trash. No relationship with God, no nothing. And it's just like certain things that they said to where it's just like I don't care what religion my person is. Like, I remember him telling me, like, I don't care what religion my person is. That means, like, you are Solomon. Like, you basically are Solomon. Like, you're, if you don't care what religion that the person that you date is, that means you're canoodling with different spirits. You canoodling with different religions when God tells you not to do that. So he had to go. He had to go. But it's so funny because me going through this moving process and me trying to uh, just get my life together and stuff like that. I me going through this process and just trying to get my life together, like, of course there was men who, there was three men. Okay, there was three men. Of course the movers were men. And don't get it twisted. Like I told y'all, don't get those gender roles mixed up, because a woman could be a mover too. A woman can throw it over her shoulder and get it done too. So don't try to like cap us out at, we can't do this, we can't do that. We can. But all right, y'all, it beat. Um, but yeah. So yeah, let's finish what we was talking about. So there was three men. There was one that was like, you a gamer and stuff like that. And he was like, you're a gamer and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah. Like, and if I tell y'all the testimony of why I don't game, it's still in my PlayStation to this day. To this day. To this day. No, if I tell y'all why I don't game and stuff like that, and just like how like that passion kind of got ripped away and stuff like that, but it's still there. Like, I watch other people game, but y'all, like, I used to be on my game, but yeah. I am I ready to tell that testimony? Not really, but yeah. So let me tell y'all how this moving journey has, um came about. So I was telling y'all how I really didn't want to move. I really didn't want to, you know, just, it was comfort, but it wasn't comfort. I always say it wasn't comfort. And I remember telling my husband, like, I'm comfortable, but I'm uncomfortable. Like, either way, I'm still going to be comfortable, uncomfortable, because I'm in some things to where it's like God hasn't moved me out of. God hasn't told me to move. God hasn't told me to do this or that, do that. So I am uncomfortable. Like, I am not in a space to where it's just like, you know, I don't feel like I'm home. Like, I don't feel like I'm home. Like, it's like, I got excited about moving and stuff like that, but it's just like, this is just another place to where it's just like, I know that it's temporary. Like, I know that God is not going to have me here for a long time. I was in my old house for 3 years, but I know this place is just temporary. Like, I won't be here forever. I won't be here for a long time. And I see something that's annoying me, so I'm about to get up. But yeah, like, I know I won't be here for a long time. I know that I won't be, here doing, I won't be here, you know, what I'm trying to say. I won't be here for a long time. I done paid my insurance on this place for like anything that happens in here or something like that for a year. And I honestly, just want to ride out this year and being peaceful, not having nobody know where I'm at. It's even worse. It's even worse. I'm gonna put curtains up. Like, this house is different from my old house because right now I'm looking at 4 different windows. I'm looking at a window and only one is really big enough for me to put a curtain on it. So I'm probably just gonna buy like those little thin curtain rods. I'm not looking for aesthetically pleasing. I'm looking for a grind. I'm looking for a hustle in this house. That's what, like, when it comes to like me being creative, when it comes to me stacking my money up, when it comes to me just doing what I need to do for me and praying and being with God and all of these things, that's what this house is gonna represent, okay? Like, I'm not trying to put expensive furniture in here. I'm not trying to do this in here. I'm not trying to do that in here. Like, I'm just trying to be with Jesus and not go to heaven, not just yet, but I'm just trying to be with Jesus, not have nobody really know where I'm at, really know where I'm staying, all of that in my business, and just rocking out, just chilling out. So it's just like, you know, yeah, like that's the only thing that, like, I'm not trying to have a whole bunch of people in my house. I'm not trying to have a whole bunch of people know where I'm living and all of that. And I pray that, by the time it becomes winter time and stuff like that, I am able to just be able to you know, have a car and stuff like that, and might not be here at all. But either way. No, but have a car on my own. But honestly, it's better with Ubering during the winter time than it is when it comes to trying to drive yourself and your car ain't gonna make it and stuff like that. So yeah. But yeah, y'all, like, I am, it was 3 men. Let me get back on topic. I'm sorry. It was 3 men. One, I ain't gonna cut it up. One, the mover was like, you're a gamer and stuff like that. And he was like, can I get your socials and stuff like that? And when a person asks for your socials, they really don't want you to have their number. And that's like, when I say that's the best thing ever, because then you can easily block somebody, you can easily go on about your business and stuff like that. But I just laughed. I kind of like, hey, like, laughed it off and stuff like that. And I'm like, kind of like, nah, like, and it's hard because it's like, until like I connect to my husband and stuff like that, until he comes and be like, hey, like, you're my wife and stuff like that, and step up and actually be a man about it, like Toni Braxton, Toni Braxton. I can't do nothing but be like, I'm single, but I know God has someone for me. And I was telling y'all a little bit, I was like, I feel like God was replacing, because especially with like light skin, like, I had shed so many tears with that dude, to where it's just like, and it's just like, even he felt emotions too. And it's just like, he tried to play it off of as, I was playing games, or tried to play it off to his friends of, she was playing games and she was this and she was that. And it was just like, I wasn't none of those things to you. I was actually one of your biggest supporters. And like when God was like, you're released from, praying for him and stuff like that. And you have to know, like, is this person my husband, or is this person just an assignment to where I'm interceding for him to get it right? Like, I'm interceding, I'm showing him that, like, hey, you need a lifestyle change and stuff like that. And it's okay. Like, being someone who loves God is not boring. So, you have to know, like, which one is which. But, like, when he rejected me, it was kind of like, hey, look, like, and it wasn't even the rejection that kind of turned me off from him. It was me going through the death of my dad and asking him to do something that he could have easily did for me, because he does it for anybody else who, like, supports him and stuff like this and do this for him and stuff like that. He would, anyone else who supports him and do this and do that for him, like, he would help them out and stuff like that. So if they needed something that he was doing, he would do. So when it comes to me asking him to do something for, like, me, when it came, down to, like, my father, passing and stuff like that, and I'm like, you easily could have did this. Like, you easily, this is something you do for, I know this is something you do. So the fact that you're telling me, like, oh, well, no, I can't do that for you, I don't know this, I just do this on the side, da 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 da, those excuses was not working for me. And I was like, Lord, release me. Like, I'm tired of praying for him. He's hard-headed. Like, I want out. Like, I want out. Like, and God was like, okay, bet. Like, I was able to show him unconditional love and stuff like that, but he wasn't my person. He wasn't my person. And it's so funny because before I knew who my husband was, the person before him was very much protective of me, and that's what I was praying to God, like, for my husband to be. He was protective of me, but in the most non-spiritual way. Like I want a man that's, gonna be protector, but also going to pray for me, also going to be like, hey, like, you have to show love in this way, you have to show love in that way and stuff like that. But he was mad aggressive. So it was crazy because it was just like, God, like, he came in and he was like, man, whatever you going through, like, I'm down, I'm riding with you. And that's the hardest thing, because now I'm looking at my husband, and no matter what, my husband hasn't said anything to me. No matter what, my husband hasn't, communicated with me. No matter what, my husband, hasn't truly showed up for me and stuff like that. And it's just like, but I know there's men out there that's going to be like, man, whatever you're going through, like, I deal with it too. And I know this from just in life with dealing with that one. He was not my person. He was not my person. So I knew from dealing with that one to, looking at my husband and being like, okay, like, why aren't you doing something? Like, why aren't you showing up? Why aren't you doing this, doing that? And it's just like, at this point, it's not my business, and that's what, so there was the mover who, was like, can I get your socials and stuff like that and all of that? Like, can I follow you? And I don't know how he gonna follow me or find me. He might follow me or find me. I don't know. But he was like, can I get your socials and stuff like that? I could have gave him the PlayStation, because I don't, like, when it comes to PlayStation, but then again, it's just like, I think about my husband and I'm thinking about, like, yeah, that's disrespectful. Like, I think about my husband in the future, because I know this man wanted to talk to me. And I done gave up on dreadheads a long time ago. So I don't know why they keep being attracted to me or coming forth. or anything like that. I be giving them a chance, but then I be like, nah. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. So it was him, and then the devil been busy because it was him that was. He said something first, and then here come the like. I had went back to the other house. They actually was nice enough to drop me off at my other house. So I went back to the other house and stuff like that, and they was like, um, I was like, Lord, because I already had told God, I was like, God, do not give me the man that tried to be like, oh, you don't look broke, oh, you don't do this, oh, you don't do that. Like, don't give me that man, because like it's just be an awkward conversation and stuff like that. And guess who I got? Him. And I tried to, hit I tried to hit request a new one. I'm like, Lord, do I have to cancel this and stuff like that? And God was like, you're gonna have to cancel the ride. And I'm like, you know what, whatever. So I was like, it's so funny because he was like, I see you still in the same spot. Because the last time I seen him, he was like, I see you still in the same spot. You ain't moved. You ain't did this. Da 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 da. And then guess what? God moved. God did this. God let me be able to move and stuff like that. So it's just like, now what you got to say? Now what you got to say? But yeah, he was like, you've been married and stuff like that. And here we go with people asking if I'm married or in a relationship or da 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 da. And I'm like, no. I'm divorced. I got cheated on. Gave him a few years to get it right. He didn't get it right because I got cheated on in 2019. I didn't get separated until 2022. I told him from 2019 to 2020, like, hey, don't let me sign a new lease with you and stuff like that and be in another lease with you and you're still gonna cheat. And he still was cheating. So he had time to get it right. He had time to correct himself. It wasn't no situation to where it's just like he can sit there and be like, oh, well, I ain't have time to do this. I ain't have time. You had time to get it right. You had time to stop cheating. You had time to stop doing this, stop doing that. He had some other stuff to where he ended up being, processed. So yeah, so it was just like, you was doing too much. And you know, you didn't want to stop cheating. So I don't have time for people who are cheating or have lustful. Like, you can't go to work and come home and I'm sitting here cooking you food at 12 midnight and you coming home at 3. I'm making sure your food is hot. I'm not sending you home with lunch, which some women do. I mean, I'm not sending you to work with lunch, but I'm waking up at midnight because I don't sleep anyway. If I'm with a person and they're gone out of the house, and I haven't lived with a man unless that person was my husband. So yeah, or I was engaged to them. So I'm waking up at 12 midnight cooking you food, and then you start coming home later and later and later. And I was gaming it. Like, I was gaming. Like, I had gamer friends and all of this. Like, I would be on the game waiting on him to come home. But yeah, so when he came home later and later and later and it wasn't making sense why, guess what? I already knew. And yeah, so I told him, I was like, yeah, like, I've been divorced before. Like, I've been divorced. I gave him time to correct his wrongs. He didn't correct his wrongs. Guess what? Bye bye. Like, what? Like, you want me to stay? Like, you want me to continue to, be with you and stuff like that? And it's just like, no. So yeah, like, it was like, it's time to, it's time for you to go. But yeah, so that situation, and then he was like, you can be my friend and stuff like that and all of that. He was like, I got my own house and stuff like that. And he's older. And I told y'all, I like my men older, but I don't like them too well. I don't know how old he is. But I told him, and he was like, how old are you? And I'm like, 30, 32. He was like, ain't no way you 32. I'm like, I'm 32. And, I pray that once I hit 50, then I'll be looking like I'm in my 30s. But, yeah, so he was like, you can be my little friend and stuff like that. And I'm like, but he was like, he told me how to look him up. Like the mover, he didn't really say anything. I just, kind of smiled and, went on about my business. But he didn't tell me like where to look him up, or he was just like, can I find you? Can I follow you? Like, yeah, like I'm talking about God. I was thinking in my head, like, you ain't gonna like what I talk about on my social media, because I talk about God. Like, God is bae to me. God is husband right now. Like, God is husband right now. So yeah, like if you part of that other life that that like ain't got time. Like I said on Instagram, ain't nobody got time to be Bob the Builder for some of these things that y'all men are easily can change and easily can stop. Like, but yeah, I don't really do dreadheads. So I was like, or locks, like people with locks. So I was like, yeah, no. And then the older person, I was just like, just because you have, you stable, you have what you need and stuff like that in life, I'm good. Like I don't need you to be acting up here being like I'm a sugar baby and stuff like that, because I take care of myself. And that goes for my husband too. Like I take care of myself. But when it comes to my husband, like we supposed to come together and we supposed to be doing stuff that God has called us to do. So when God is telling him like, hey, you should help her with this, or you should do this for her, or do that for her, and he doesn't listen, guess what? Someone else has to step in. God has to step in. But yeah, so I'm like, okay, and then there was the maintenance man. Not the maintenance man, the internet man. And he's like, my name is blah blah blah, because I ain't really need his name. He's like, my name is blah blah blah, and you can call me and I had two of those the same name, because the mover name was that name and his name was that name. But his name, he had some words in front of it, but it was still that name. I ain't gonna say because my husband may get jealous, but it's he was like, my name is blah 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 and stuff like that, and he seen my books and stuff like that, and he was like, you read? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I read, but mostly write. I was like, I mostly do more writing than I do reading and stuff like that. He was like, oh, okay. And he was like, what's this? And he was like, it was so my mangas was out, because Hari, y'all know Hari normally holds my mangas, but since we've been moving and stuff like that, me and Hari been on the move. He hadn't been holding my mangas. They was just on the table. They was in a box, and I took them out the box, and they was just on my table back here. And he was like, is that a comic? And I was like, no, it's a manga. And I'm laughing for a reason, y'all. But I'm like, no, that's a manga. And he was like, oh, you do a lot of reading? I'm like, no, I do mostly writing. And I was like, he was like, oh, okay. And he's like, so, and it's just so funny how people try to get to know you, but at the same time, I know who my husband is. And until God say otherwise, that's my husband. Like, I'm not trying to get with nobody. I'm not trying to have them mess up my life and disrupt my life and catch feelings. Because me dating somebody, it seems like these dudes don't want to leave me alone. Like, the 2024 one still, you know, somewhat trying to have some type of opinion and a conversation about me. And it's just like, dude, it's been years now. Leave it alone. And like, I don't know, when it comes to like, and then maybe because my husband is coming soon, maybe, hopefully, I don't know at this point, that, my husband may be coming soon, and, he may be coming and showing up, but look, I don't know, y'all, like maybe that's why these men is up here, sitting up here, trying to have an opinion and stuff. Like, leave me alone. Like, and then it just shows like where they be saying like you be giving too much of yourself to people that don't even deserve it and stuff like that. Like, you be giving too much of yourself to people who don't deserve it. But yeah, so 3 different people. An older one who tried to almost sugar baby me, and then I don't know if he was the same age. The mover was the same age as me, because he was like, oh, 1993, because they was asking like, how old are you and all of this stuff, and I'm like, 19. I'm like, no. I'm like, he was like, I was like, he was like, oh, so you the same age as me. I'm like, sir, I do not do locks no more, okay? I used to think locks was like it was it in 2014. 2014, when I was just coming into like dating people and stuff like that, I thought locks were so sexy on a man. But y'all, when my husband changed his hair though, I don't think I'd be ready for it, because I'd be like, I'm so used to like his hair being out and stuff like that. But when my husband changed his hair, I'd be like gone. It's like go somewhere. But yeah, like, I used to think locks was so sexy on men, but now it's just like, even my ex-husband decided to grow his locks back, and I was already out the door. I was already out the door by that time. I married you and all of this stuff. I was already out the door, so. But I used to be like twisting locks and stuff like that, and it's just like why you going to some other female to get your hair twisted? And I'm sitting right here. Yeah. But let's try to cook something, y'all. Let me wash a few forks and spoons, and see what we can do. And cook up. I gotta move this stuff off this table. Yeah, hopefully my husband is coming, because like people up here, like, y'all, I'm like, bruh. And then it's so funny because I came into my living room because it's not connected to nobody. But yeah, I don't want the neighbor to be like, she's talking to herself. And even if I'm sitting here being like, God, like why my husband not here? And I'm sitting here having a conversation with God and being like, God, like, I want so bad for him to come. I want so bad for him to show up, but he's not here. And if I'm talking just like I'm talking to y'all on the camera, why is my neighbor up here being like, oh, she's just sitting there talking to herself, she's just doing this, she's just doing that? I talk to God in third person too. So I'll be like, I talk to him like my friend. I'll sit here and be like, hey, like, God, like, Jesus, like, I need, like, you know, I'll sit here and talk to him like he's just my best friend and stuff like that. He got multiple names, but I'll just sit here and talk to him and have a conversation and stuff like that. But yeah, y'all. So I don't know if we should cook or like I really want to change my shower head because I want to wash my hair tonight. I want to wash my hair tonight. So so should I change my shower? It's gonna take like 2 minutes. Should I change my shower head, y'all, or should I not? I might change it. So you shouldn't be wanting to still like have any like if you don't like me, if you don't, you know, have feelings for me, if you feel like I'm the worst person in the world, if you call me all types of names and stuff, like why is you still trying to interact or have some type of communication or have some type of, you know, like why are you trying, you know, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But let me see if my shower is in it. If my shower head is in this box, I'm gonna change the shower head because the shower head looks atrocious. They didn't even try to do like a little $9, $10 one up in there. It looked like it was $5. So let me switch out my shower head. It's not gonna match the chrome finishes and stuff like that. But look, like I said, temporary, y'all, temporary space. But I'm gonna change my shower head. I'm gonna put. I don't know if I'm gonna put some music on. I don't know if I want to listen to this. This girl, she's talking about pray for him, pray for your husband, and it's so funny because in the last video I was like, God hadn't really gave me the urgency to pray for my husband or anything like that. But I know my husband be going through some stuff. But yeah, like I really like coming into this because of the light skinned person, because of the little light skinned man, and because of, you know, I don't know, like y'all, I just wanted my husband to come in and not question anything. And it's so funny because I was like, y'all, like you know, I didn't think I was gonna get the validation before my husband came. I thought that, you know, he would come and we'll talk, he'll ask questions, I have answers, and he'll get the right understanding because of communication. We need that. And I'm not letting up off my husband with the communication, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm not letting up off I'm not letting up off of him with the communication. It's easy, it's simple. Um, but you know, I wanted my husband to come in and be like, you know, cause that's how I am with my husband. Like, whatever you going through, we'll deal with it. Whatever you know, whatever this going on, if that going on, like we'll deal with it. And that's how I wanted my husband to come in. Because the one before him, the little evil one, was like, you know, like he didn't want to leave me. He was like, hey, whatever. And at the same time, I don't really think he had feelings for me at the same time. But he didn't want me to go. Like that man did not want me to go. Yeah, that man did not want me to go. You have to get some type of Jesus down your throat. If you want to talk to me, like, and it's so funny because, you know, the main reason, like, you know, not only with communication and stuff like that, you know, there's intention. Like, I want my husband to be intentional. And, you know, like, since that November, like, I hadn't messaged him since November. And then I messaged him again, maybe April, May. So I messaged him again April, May, which I could have said a whole lot that was going on. I could have came at him in a totally different way than I did come at him, instead of with like love and grace and patience. Because I could have been like, hey, like, why are you delaying this? Why are you delaying that? I could have went black girl on him. But I didn't, because at the same time, it's just like, you deal with your stuff and handle your stuff, and I will, and I will you deal with your stuff and I will handle like what I gotta handle. You know what I'm saying? So you deal with your stuff and you get it together and stuff like that. But it's no perfect time to come to me. There's no perfect time to come to me. And it made me so mad because I found out why my husband changed himself. And it's just like, I'm not no better than you. You're not no better than me, husband. I found out why in 2025 he like completely just kind of shut down on me. And it's just like, I'm not no better than you. Like, I'm not perfect. I got stuff that, I was dealing with and still probably dealing with. I had stuff that I was dealing with too. So, and like, it was a lot of stuff that, because I looked at my husband like, oh, well, Lord, I know he says he talks to you and, he has a relationship with you, but my husband needed redirection. So he needed redirection back to God. And I can't wait. Cause like, I think that like, how I said, like, I used to think locks was so sexy on a man. Seeing a man actually after God's own heart, seeing a man that actually wants to live godly, a man who wants to pray, a man, hold on. Let me tell y'all the major thing that messed up the man before my husband, messed up the man that came in, that was a serpent. This man sat there in my face. He sat there, and this is why I didn't give the mover an opportunity. I didn't give the older man an opportunity. And I really, really wasn't trying to have conversation with the internet person. The fact that this man knew that I was connected to God, knew that, I believed in God, I was a Christian. And, everything about me embodies, like, I would talk about God, I would say something about God. I'd be like, I'm praying, I'm reading my Bible, I'm doing this. This man sat there multiple times. He sat there and said, why do you always got to put God in it? Why do it always have to be about God? So that's why I trust God into developing my husband. I trust God into having my husband come out on the other side. I trust God into just letting my husband, come to me after like he done molded him and did what he needed to do in him. And that's why I trust God so much. And people probably be like, why you going hard? Why you going in? Like, you're not getting communication like you want to. It's not looking as like it's supposed to. Like, he's not showing up. Like, there's so much delay here, so much delay there. That man, before I fully knew who my husband was, because there are some things that kind of disrupted me and my husband's connection in the beginning. And that's why I say y'all need that solid foundation before telling the world, before putting it out there, before, you need that solid foundation with God, solid foundation with that person, and solid foundation with putting God in the center. But the man that showed up, the serpent that showed up, sat there in my face and told me Why are you always talking about God? Can we talk about something else? If you pray, he was like, if you praying and stuff like that, don't even tell me. Don't even text me that. So I've been through a lot, okay? And when I talk about like witches and warlocks and just people who have spirits behind them, people have spirits behind them. And when he was like, what did he say? He was like, don't pray for me. And I still feel bad because I'm like, Lord, I don't know what you're gonna do about that person, cause yeah. every anybody that I encounter ends up in my prayer list at some point. My husband is just a constant prayer. My husband and my family is just a constant prayer point. But anybody who I encounter and stuff like that, they are a prayer point at some point. But let me pause, y'all. Let me go change the shower head and stuff like that. And then I guess I'll cook something. I don't know. I might want to eat tomorrow. I don't know, y'all. I'm getting Pepper Place tomorrow from the store. I am. Don't judge me. Because I'm not finna take out my dishes yet. Now, if I find me like a dish rack and stuff like that, then maybe I will go ahead and, wash up my dishes and stuff since I done cleaned out the sink. But let me pause. Let me see if this is my shower head. And then I'll come and show y'all what I'm going to cook on for the next few months to a year. Because I'm not, and I'm going to use the stove. I'm going to use the oven. I ain't even checked to see if the oven was working, y'all. So, yeah. This is a long video, but hey, like, this is the update. I haven't talked to y'all in about 20 days. And then that other video was old. So, this is like, newer. So, let me put something in my ear and then I'm gonna go change the shower head and I'll see y'all later.